Sir, good morning. Sir, my name is Pratyush Mohapatra.
Speech on the gap.
Sir, my name is Pratyush Mohapatra. I have completed my graduation in commerce, then my post-graduation in international business, economics and finance. Then I worked for 3 years, and then I thought that civil service was an appropriate career next step. So I took a break from work, studied for a year.
You have opted for commerce.
Yeah. Yeah. My graduation was in commerce.
Commerce.
So
for this examination, you have taken commerce.
Yeah. For my optional subject, I did.
Well, when we look at the present scenario of trade and commerce, particularly at the international stage, public policies of different countries have shown the policy of reservation, policy of protection, and policy of suicide also.
Yes.
So, do you believe in this statement?
Sir, looking at the American experience recently, so we can see. Sir, looking at the American experience recently and the unilateral advances, and it sort of goes like bullying against its trade partners. So we can see that it's happening very recently. Also, at the same time, it's fueled by the political pressure to some extent. I mean, that's what I feel about Trump.
What is meant by the concept protection in international trade and commerce?
Protection actually means bolstering your domestic production so that they enable themselves to export, and preventing the others from coming into your country and like selling the product.
What is trade deficit?
Trade deficit, sir, when your imports, the value of imports kind of exceeds the value of export, then it's said to have you are having a trade
balance
deficit.
of payment versus balance of trade.
Balance of trade relates to, sir, balance of payment includes the balance of trade, but balance of trade relates to the trade in merchandise and services. So that gap is called balance of trade. But balance of payment includes all the foreign exchange that has been coming to India.
Recently there was a statement, and it's published in the newspaper, that there is a huge balance of trade between India and China.
Yeah.
What does it mean?
Sir, actually it tilts in favor of China. So we have been kind of importing about more than $100 billion of goods and services.
Since when this balance of trade between India and China took a crisis note?
To a crisis note, I think it took a crisis note post that incident in Ladakh and Doklam. Incident in Ladakh, and then government of India took some serious measures.
Had COVID, period
Yes,
of COVID, any influence on the bilateral trade between India and China?
Sir, at that point of time, Indian government took some serious measures like banning some Chinese apps, banning some Chinese phone, putting visa restriction, all these things.
It is said that USA, you have to accept or reject this statement. It is said that USA is a land of marketing, China is a land of producing, and India is both land of production and marketing. Do you believe in this statement?
To some extent, yes. In terms, if you look
yes
at
or no? There is no third choice.
So yes, mostly it is becoming one, because if you look at the supply chain.
What is one single contribution of COVID-19 to human relationship and human life? Single contribution.
Contribution. It has put family together, everyone.
It's
digital contribution, positive contribution.
Positive is it is digital. Transfer digital. Digitization of the whole.
Increasing use of digitization. That's what it is.
Digitization of human relations. So when we look into the present war between tariff war between Trump and Modi. नहीं सर नहीं तो
कारण
वो वाली देखिए बाद में
Backwards.
उस बैकग्राउंड अच्छी
ओहो So between Trump and Modi, yesterday Trump had made a reference. Trump had made a reference that High Court has given an order, and Trump has made a reference about what to whom. କାହାକୁ ରେଫରେନ୍ସ କରିଛି ଏବଂ କ'ଣ କରିଛି?
So only yesterday.
Yeah, only yesterday.
So I'm not sure. I can take a guess. It's about.
Yesterday means you have to remember Trump has, I don't know, Trump has asked Supreme Court to give a decision that the High Court order is illegal. We talk about democracy, and the President is pressurizing the Apex Court of the United States of America. You dispose of the High Court case as soon as possible. So can our Indian system, can Prime Minister Modi say that you dispose the case?
No, they cannot. Judiciary is very independent and kind of different than the executive.
No, see, yes or no question you like. I think confused could explain. Yeah.
What's your name?
Sir, Pratyush.
Pratyush. Achha, Pratyush, you are a bright guy. You are a bright guy, and you have commerce as your subject. So there will be a few specific questions on economics. Okay. On economics, trade and commerce, there will be specific. I am a professor in economics actually. So there will be few specific questions. Now, say sir asked you that what is the difference between balance of trade and balance of payment. Okay. Now, you should be very, very clear. Conceptually, there are two things. One is conceptual clarity. The other is data or information that they may ask for. That in because with Odisha, what is the kind of GDP growth we are looking at? What are the things? These are data-based questions. The other is, supposing they say what is the difference between GDP and GVA. It's a concept-based question. So generally in an interview, mostly your conceptual clarity would be very critical. Now balance of trade essentially is the balance of import and export of goods and services. Okay. Now supposing out of that balance, say supposing you are in a deficit by say $50 billion. So we say our balance of trade is 50 billion minus 50 billion. In the balance of payment, it is the capital account. Balance of trade is a trade account. Balance of payment is a capital account. In a capital account, we take into account loans and investments. Are you getting my point? So basically, as they say, balance of payment will always balance. It can never be the case that you have a deficit, you don't pay a country. So you go into your, for instance, reserves and then pay it. So when this kind of a question comes, you say, sir, balance of trade is essentially balance of goods and services, imports and exports.
Yeah, commerce
in the balance of payment, we look at how these kind of deficits would be made good through loans and investments. You can take a loan from the IMF, you can take a loan from European Common Market. So there will be a number of areas that you can draw from your foreign exchange reserves. Ethically, conceptual clarity. Okay. There are two issues on which today it's very hot and tomorrow there is going to be it will start. On the GST, everybody knows that there will be two rates, there will be a sin rate, but they will ask certain questions. Since you are a commerce student, some questions which are not very generally understood, or people do not have a clear idea about that. See, for instance, supposing they ask you that what would be the impact of the GST on overall revenue connection. Just tell me.
Sir,
See, these are statements.
here.
These are statements.
Sir, namaskar.
The
Odisha କଥା ହଉଥିଲି sir.
Arre.
Sir, ତମ ସ୍ନାନ ଥିବ.
Revenue secretary has made a statement.
Yeah.
What is that he said that?
He said there will be a cap of around 40 to 50
No, he didn't say that. You be specific. He didn't say 40 to 50. He said 48,000 crores.
Yeah, 48,000 crores.
That's all.
Yeah. So the states have given their own calculations.
No,
Some are saying
but the revenue secretary is the member secretary for the GST council. So it's around 48,000 crore is the deficit. Okay, is the likely deficit. But as you very rightly say, nobody can make an assessment at this stage. So they also say that there would be an improvement in the tax buoyancy. What do you mean by that?
tax buoyancy.
They say that what is tax buoyancy?
Increase in the tax revenue by expansion of the base.
Expansion of what?
Base, like the number of people who are paying the taxes.
See, you should never give a conceptually wrong answer. Tax buoyancy means what is your increase in tax collection to increase your GDP. Supposing your GDP increases by 1% and your tax increases by 1.5%, we say tax buoyancy is 1.5. Are you getting my point? So tax buoyancy today is around 0.8 and they are expecting that it will go up to 1.33.
Yeah.
Since you are opted for commerce, are you getting my point? So they will ask this kind of questions. There is a concept called elasticity of demand. What does it mean and what is its implication on GST reduction? What is elasticity?
Elasticity of demand is the relationship between quantity demand.
Now tell me, with the kind of reduction that they are making, tell me the goods that has been reduced, will the elasticity of demand would be less than 1 or more than 1? Most of the items have been brought down from 12% to 5%.
Some are zero.
Now you tell me that in this kind of commodities, will the elasticity of demand be more than 1 or less than 1 or 1?
So
Have you understood?
I understood the questions, but I believe so.
No, there is no belief. See the kind of common good items where the reduction has taken place. I basically want to know from you, are these goods like soaps, toiletries, they belong to an elastic demand or an inelastic demand or a unit elastic demand? My question is very specific.
So these goods have become kind of daily necessity, and
Therefore,
it's not going to change much. The consumption is going to stay.
it will change. It will be highly elastic.
It will
be yes.
For example,
necessities will increase. See, if it is a luxury, then there will be reduction. But if it is a necessity, it will increase. That is how we are expecting that our consumption will increase. Why Government of India is expecting that the increase in consumption due to GST rate is going to make good the kind of deficiency which is likely to come with a Trump's tariff. Why are they saying that? Because they think that these goods are highly elastic. Have you understood me?
Yeah, sir, I understood, but I think some of the goods, for example, roti and everything, daily use item, they are very inelastic sort of thing, irrespective of the prices, small changes in prices.
Yeah. It would, for a poor man, you think that the daily consumer items, if the rate comes down, there will be no increase, there will not be significant increase. For a person who is getting 5,000 rupees, will his daily consumption. That is why the marginal propensity of consumption is very high with poor people. So they are basically, so पाठ पढ़ुचो economics master भी पढ़ो ना दे तुम भी बुझो ना. That's the main difficulty. But a basic conceptual clarity तब रोहनी.
नहीं मैं देखी तुम जो पचाली balance of payment, balance of trade, उत्तर ठीक की देले commerce पिलाई सब दे.
अरे माने देखो माने तुम्हें खाली उठे कहिलो तुम्हें you are feeling dissatisfied, but you say have I defined it correctly or incorrectly? Balance of trade and balance of payment.
So you have defined it correctly, the balance of
Because I am
trade.
a teacher in economics.
ଏଗୁଡ଼ା ତୁମଠୁ ଏକ୍ସପେକ୍ଟ କରିବେ ସେ
So ନିଶ୍ଚିତ ଏକ୍ସପେକ୍ଟ କରିବେ ତମେ ଶୁଣ ତମେ you are feeling aggrieved ଯେ ନାଇଁ ନାଇଁ ମୋର ଏଇଟା ଗୋଟେ ସାର୍ କହୁଛନ୍ତି
last question what do you mean by conspicuous consumption?
Conspicuous I have read it one point, but I don't
ତମ
remember
ମାଷ୍ଟର ମାନେ
it.
ତମେ ଇଗ୍ନୋର ପଢ଼ିଛ କି
No, sir.
କ୍ଲାସରୁମ୍
କିଛି
No,
ପଢ଼ୁନାହାନ୍ତି
sir, actually,
କିଛି ପଢ଼ୁନାହାନ୍ତି କନସ୍ପିକୁଅସ୍ କନଜମ୍ପସନ୍ ଆପଣ କହିପାରୁନାହାନ୍ତି କ'ଣ ଏବେ ହବ କି
ମାନେ ଜିଏସଟି ସହିତ କନସ୍ପିକୁଅସ୍ କନଜମ୍ପସନ୍ର ରିଲେସନସିପ୍ ସେ ଇନଡାଇରେକ୍ଟଲି ତୁମକୁ ପଚାରୁଥିଲେ ସେଇଟା ଜାଣିବା ଦରକାର ନା କମର୍ସ ପିଲା ହିସାବରେ ୟୁ ୱିଲ୍ ଏକ୍ସପେକ୍ଟ ବ୍ୟାରେଜ୍ ଅଫ୍ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ବିକଜ୍ ଅଫ୍ ଦି ରିସେଣ୍ଟ ଜିଏସଟି ଅର୍
100% ପଚାରିବେ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ 100%
ଷ୍ଟେଜ୍ ଟୁ ମାନେ ଯେଉଁଟା କହୁଛନ୍ତି ଯେଉଁ
Phase two.
ନ୍ୟୁ ଜେନେରେସନ୍ ରିଫର୍ମ
ଏଇଟା ନ୍ୟୁ ଥାର୍ଡ ଜେନେରେସନ୍ ରିଫର୍ମ ବୋଲି କହୁଛେ ଥାର୍ଡ ଜେନେରେସନ୍ ମାନେ ଗୋଟେ ଲାଷ୍ଟ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ୍ ପଚାରିଲି what is going to be the average tax tariff because of the GST? What was it earlier? Average tax tariff means what is going to be India's average tax tariff? Today it has come out. Kete?
so I can
Average 12.2%. Earlier it was 14.4%. এইগুଡ଼ା ଯଦି କହିବ ତାହେଲେ ତମର ଯେଉଁ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଯେଉଁ 50% ଲେଭେଲରେ ଅଛ then we go up to 70%. ଗୋଟେ ଭଲ କାହିଁ କହୁଛି you are not
I'm getting the point, sir.
ଦେଖ ତମେ ଶୁଣ ତମେ ବହୁତ ଆଗ୍ରିଭ୍ ଫିଲ୍ କରୁଛ କିନ୍ତୁ କଥା ହେଉଛି କ'ଣ unless you bring these factual things to the table and unless there is a perception ଯେ ଆପଣ ଟିକେ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ଅଧିକା ଜାଣିଛନ୍ତି ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ଆଭରେଜ ମାର୍କ ଦେଇ ଛାଡ଼ିଦେବେ
କିଏ କହୁଛୁ
ସାର୍ ହାପି ଟିଚର୍ସ ଡେ ସାର୍ ଗଦାଧର କହୁଥିଲି
ଆପଣ ବୁଝିଲେ ଆପଣ have you understood?
I'm getting the point. I'm just kind of
ଠିକ୍ ଅଛି ଥ୍ୟାଙ୍କ ୟୁ
getting to know
ମୁଁ ଟିକେ ବାହାରକୁ
where
ମିଟିଂରେ
I
ବସିଛି
need to
ଆମେ
improve
କଥା
the
You
audience.
need to read them carefully. You need to read them carefully. You just need to read them very carefully. That's all. ଆଉ କିଛି ନାହିଁ ଆପଣ ଭଲ କି ଟିକେ ପଢ଼ିବେ ନୋଟ୍ କରିବେ ଏଗୁଡ଼ା ଆଜି ହିଁ ବାହାରିଛି ଯେ 14.4 ରୁ 12.2 ହେବ ଏଇଟା ମୁଁ ହିଁ ପଢ଼ିଛି 48,000 would be and consumption will increase ଏଗୁଡ଼ା ସବୁ ଆଜି ହିଁ ବାହାରିଛି ସବୁ ହଁ ଚାଲ ଆପଣ ବୁଝିପାରୁଛୁ କଥା
Sir,
ତମ କେବେ ଇଣ୍ଟରଭ୍ୟୁ ଅଛି
sir, 11.
ତମେ ଉତ୍ତର ଦେଇଥିଲେ ଏତେ ସମୟ ଆମକୁ
ତମକୁ
ବୁଝେଇବାକୁ
ଗୋଟେ ମୁଁ 1 to 1 ଶୁଣ 1 to 1 I'll take an interview with you on basic economic issues ତାପରେ ଆକୁ କହିଦେଇକି ଯାହାରି ମୁଁ ଗୋଟେ 1 to 1 ନେବି ତମ ଇଣ୍ଟରଭ୍ୟୁ ପୂର୍ବରୁ
Okay, sir.
ପଢ଼ିକି ଆସ ତ ଜିଏସଟିଟା ପଢ଼ିକି ଆସ ଟ୍ରମ୍ପସ୍ ପଢ଼ିକି ଆସ ରେପୋ ରେଟ୍ ପଢ଼ିକି ଆସ ତମକୁ ମୁଁ ଇକୋନୋମିକ୍ସ ଆଉ କମର୍ସ ଉପରେ ହିଁ ପଚାରିବି
ଓକେ
I'll just
Best of luck.
ask you this.
100% ପାଇବ ତାପରେ
Thank you.
ୟୁ ଆର୍ ଇଣ୍ଟେଲିଜେଣ୍ଟ ଗାଏ କିନ୍ତୁ ଲେଜି ଗାଏ ଜମା ପଢ଼ୁନ ଡିଟେଲ ଯାଉନ
Sir, I'll have to like make sure I read
Yeah,
better.
ମୁଁ
about
ତମ
these
ଭଳିଆ
things.
ପିଲା ହିଁ ପଢ଼ଉଛି ମୁଁ ଜାଣୁଛି